For those of you who give a damn, the Oscars were this past Sunday. And, well, let's be honest, they were a little boring this year basically because every award given out was correct. Y'all know what I'm referencing. This year's Oscars were a great reminder that last year we had some quality films, and we were just so lucky to see that every one of them got honored at the Oscars this year. Boy, we had some great movies, including a movie about a grown man having a relationship with a child, yet another movie where it shows it's okay to be racist, and a movie about a lady who falls in love with a freaking fish guy. Boy, movies sure were great, and thank you, Oscars, for honoring these movies. And we're going to talk about some of the moments of the Oscars that were great and some that were not so great. Without further ado, here is Oscars 2018. Now, I know a lot of people don't really respect Jimmy Kimmel, but you know what? I like the guy. I really, really do. And I like that they brought him back for the Oscars again. I like him a lot better than James Corden with his own funny ass. Well, anyway, Jimmy said a lot of things in his opening monologue that I thought were absolute gold. The first thing that pops into my mind is when he says this.
I do want to mention, this year, when you hear your name called, don't get up right away.
Clearly a reference to Envelope Gate from last year. And what I also like is that he gave props to the hit movies Wonder Woman and Black Panther.
Black Panther and Wonder Woman were massive hits, which is almost miraculous because I remember a time when the major studios didn't believe a woman or a minority could open a superhero movie. And the reason I remember that time is because it was March of last year.
Another thing that I respect about Jimmy Kimmel is that he's one of those celebrities that aren't afraid to say anything. And so he made a reference to the numerous sexual allegations in 2017, all while talking about the most important man of the evening, Oscar.
Oscar is the most beloved and respected man in Hollywood, and there's a very good reason why. Just look at him. Keeps his hands where you can see them, never says a rude word, and most importantly, no penis at all. He is literally a statue of limitations.
You know what happened in 2017? Maybe that is why women are starting to date fish now.
Thanks to Guillermo, we will always remember this year as the year men screwed up so badly, women started dating fish.
The first award of the night went to Sam Rockwell for his portrayal in that movie with the races in it. What I especially love about this moment is that funny story that he gave when he and his dad went to go see the movies and how they went to go see the movies.
When I was 8 years old, I was called into the principal's office, and my father was looking very solemn, and he said, "We got to go. It's Grandma." And we got in the car, and I said, "What's wrong with Grandma?" And he said, "Nothing. We're going to the movies."
I couldn't help but notice that a lot of the nominees and hell, a lot of the winners this year were actually Hispanic. Now, of course, I have no problem with that, but it's just kind of weird to me how all of a sudden these Hispanic nominees are winning awards, especially after that whole, too white thing. I'm just saying, Oscars, it's a little suspect that all of a sudden they're starting to win. Just a little suspect on your part, all right? By far the most random award of the night was when Kobe Bryant won an Oscar. And look at his face right here. He don't even look like he's supposed to win that thing. Look at him.
Basketball players, we're really supposed to shut up and dribble, but I'm glad we do a little bit more than that. Thank you, Academy, for this amazing honor.
I guess I will go ahead and talk about James Ivory as well. I mean, he did make history as being the oldest Oscar winner at 89 years old. I just hate the fact it was because of that damn movie with the guy going out with a child. And look here. Let's just go ahead and get something straight here, okay? I don't take issue with the fact that it was a gay couple. I mean, I ain't into that, but I don't take issue with that. It's just that one of them is in his 20s, and the other one is not. The other one is 17. This movie basically shows that pedophilia is okay. It ain't. Now, let me just go ahead and get this out the way right now. I am not saying this because I'm black, okay? I am not saying this because I'm black. But definitely one of my most favorite moments of the night was when my man, Jordan Peele, won for original screenplay for the great movie that was Get Out. And check this out. He was only one of 4 black people to be nominated for it. And check this out. he the first one to win.
This means so much to me. I stopped writing this movie about 20 times because I thought it was impossible. I thought it wasn't going to work. I thought no one would ever make this movie. But I kept coming back to it because I knew if someone let me make this movie, that people would hear it and people would see it.
I also saw the picture of how his friend Keegan Michael Key was like extra excited that he won an award. And it's great to see that these two get along so well. And of course, the Best Picture trophy went to the movie about a lady who falls in love with a freaking fish guy. I'm not seeing this movie, so someone please explain to me, how did this dude come to be? I mean, did he mutate? Did the guy have sex with a fish? I mean, somebody please clear this up for me, please. But the reason I'm spending so much time talking about this is because I want to talk about the people who actually presented this one. Hey, look who's back. I guess they decided to go ahead and give him a second chance to get this one right. Although, let's remember, it wasn't really their fault. I mean, they shouldn't have read it, yes, but they weren't the ones that picked up the wrong envelope. It was handed to them. So I guess it's like it's kind of their fault, but it's not. Definitely one of the more awkward moments of the Oscars was when Mark Hamill, Oscar Isaac, and Kelly Marie Tran was up there with, where the hell this little thing is, trying to have a conversation with it. Although Mark Hamill did kind of save it when, right as he opened the envelope, he said this.
Don't say La La Land, don't say La La Land.
Undoubtedly, probably the best presenter for a lot of people Oscar night was Tiffany Haddish. Oh yeah, and Maya Rudolph was there too, I guess. My first experience with Tiffany Haddish was seeing her on Hip Hop Squares, and I absolutely did not like her. But I kind of thought about it, and she's a lot like Cardi B. She's not afraid to be herself, even in a place like the Oscars. And I gotta give her respect for that. So you know what? Go ahead and do you. Just go ahead and do you. This may be a surprise to some people, but another pair of presenters that I really liked that night were Jodie Foster and Jennifer Lawrence. And that's really only because of how much they were bagging on Meryl Streep. And of course, the final presenters of the night were Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway, and I already talked about them. But I just kind of want to bring them up again because I really think it's funny that they brought them back again. And I suppose props are in order for the director of the Fish movie for checking that envelope to make sure that that was the right one. In memoriam. Now, I knew by the time they finished it that it was way too short. I felt like it was way too short. And I was right, because it turned out there were a lot of key people that they left out. Notably, Adam West, Robert Guillaume, Della Reese, Glenn Campbell, Dorothy Malone, and Powers Booth. How do you leave off so many people? And it's not the first time you've done this, Oscars. How is it that every in memoriam you F up and don't include somebody? And do you know how pissed off you make the fans of these people? I mean, Adam West, are you serious? Robert Guillaume, you serious? You seriously left them out? I would think by now you'd have got this shit together, but apparently I'm wrong. Well, despite the failure that was in memoriam, this year's show it wasn't great, but it wasn't trash either. I mean, it wasn't as entertaining as last year, for obvious reasons. But, I even read an article somewhere where this was I think it said the least watched Oscars, like it had the lowest audience, or something like that. But anyway, despite all that, I mean, the show wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible also. So all in all, out of 10, I'll give it an 8. I'll give it a solid 8, maybe 7 or 8. Still high up there. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, share this video with everyone you know, and I will see you on the next one. And as always, peace.